I'm just taking the Honda out for a ride today, and the two things I'm evaluating really are I revalved the suspension, had EvoOregon.com, Evo Industries. Paul over there revalved the front and back. I'm 190 pounds, so I kept the stock spring in the front and rear. He just did some revalving in the front forks and rear shock. I did do a video on removing the rear shock if you need help with that. But so far, I just done a little gravel. It feels really good. And I'm sorry that I didn't do the revalving and the engine hangers in separate steps. I did those all in one step. And so I know the valving's making the biggest difference. But the bike feels much softer, much plusher. Doesn't have that rigid feel. I don't feel my brain shaking, for lack of a better term. And it wasn't bad before, except when I got on this gravel road. You can see there's washboard there, and yeah, it feels good. It's softened the bike up. It's a big step closer to the KTM and Husky bikes that I ride, and on the feel, the softer feel. But yeah, so far a big improvement. But I did make the revalving and the frame hangers, and you just have these FCP hangers that go in here, and then over here on each side. They're actually really easy to go in. Didn't take long at all, and you just retorque the bolts. And I'm using the factory torque specs right now on those. Okay, well let's ride some more with these two changes. Beautiful day. What a beautiful day here in Oregon. Early, nice day in the spring. We've been having lots of rain, so I actually got out to ride today and not be in the rain, and it's honestly fabulous. I'm running the X exhaust off the Honda CRF 450X. I think it's a 22 or a 23 that I have a takeoff exhaust on right now. Just the header and can, and it's a little lighter than the stock RL, but it doesn't have the catalytic converter, so it runs cooler. But the main reason I got this over another exhaust is I wanted something that, yeah, I think there's more power there now. But anyway, I wasn't doing so much for power even. It's because I felt like the factory bike exhaust gave me enough power. I just basically wanted to lose some of the heat off that. And if I gained a little more performance, hey, I won't turn it down. Feels like I have. I haven't gotten my ECU updated. I don't feel like the X exhaust flows that much freer that I'm, in a bad place with the mapping, the fuel mapping. But suspension, handling, this bike just took a big step towards just being a little softer, a little more compliant for this kind of stuff, to more of what I'm used to with the KTM and Husky bikes I ride. So I like it. I'm on a Honda 450. It feels like a Honda. The build quality is Honda, but it's just got a little softer ride to where it's not so rigid on the gravel. See, here I'm on pavement for 100 feet, and then now I'm back to gravel. And I am staying on the outside of these roads in case somebody comes by. It's always important. But no, the bike is feeling really good. Section that I'm used to. I'm also running the Scott steering stabilizer, and I'll tell you, it just I've got the sub mount, so it raises the handlebars a little bit, which is perfect. Did the BRP mount system. I think I got that through Takamoto. Yeah, it's feeling really stable. It's softer. I can sit down. Before, if I didn't stand up, I was getting it could get rough if the terrain was rough. But this feels good. I could ride for hours like this. Yeah, feels very stable on the gravel. Feels smooth. Feels compliant. Yeah, I feel like the revalving was the biggest thing here, taking some of the harshness just out of the bike. like this X exhaust. I think it does give it a little more pickup. Still really quiet. I can't tell a difference in the exhaust note. Maybe it has a little throatier sound. Yeah, and I don't feel all the vibration in the handlebars like I did before. Before there was so much vibration in the handlebars, it was like, man, it just was significant. And I'm not talking about the motor necessarily as much as just from the train. Revalving in combination with those frame hangers, the frame hangers, the bike just feels softer in the handlebars too. Very, very nice. And the valving, I think, was the biggest thing. I would have done it in 2 steps, but it just, I had the bike all apart, and what was that? That's a Cougar. Man, don't see many of those. And he is gone. That was a Cougar. How cool is that? I hope I can see that on video. I mean, I hope it wasn't teeny. It was small in my vision, so my guess is on video it's gonna be really teeny. I'll see if I can upsize that. I have never caught a Cougar on film before, but that was one. I could see it, but it's probably gonna be really small. But I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can zoom in and take a screenshot and throw it in the video. But yeah, that Cougar was moving. But back to the suspension, less vibration in the handlebars. I can sit down now more. I'm not getting just beat. I just felt like I was getting pounded a little bit before, and I don't feel that way now. So, much better. And the steering dampener, I think, is helping just to make everything feel more composed. Steering dampener, probably less of an important upgrade, but the revalving for what I'm trying to do was really important. Yeah, I don't feel anything harsh anymore coming through the seat. Oh yeah, this is nice. I could drive like this a long time. Bike feels really good. Hondas are fun, man. They just have a nice feel themselves. So the fact that I was revalving this, I wouldn't take that as a cut on a Honda. In fact, if I were doing mainly roads and some gravel roads, I probably would have just left it. But I just do mainly gravel roads, and the harshness was. I just wanted to address that. But man, this 450 just has lots of torque, longer gears, and it'll get up and move. And going back to that Cougar, the only time I've ever seen a Cougar is when I was riding a bike with a stock exhaust. So there's another plus. If you have a quiet exhaust, you get to see more wildlife. And I feel like people don't think I'm driving as fast. If I'm quiet, it gives the illusion that you're going slower, even if you're going fast. So I kind of like that. I can go by them, and they don't really attract as much attention. But man, there's some nice exhausts out. That Graves exhaust does look good. I wouldn't be opposed to running it. But I do like how quiet this exhaust is. Okay, this is really choppy here, and I'm just blasting over that. It isn't harsh at all. This little uphill. I've had a lot of rain, so it's kind of washed out. There's basically parts of this road have been a creek. That's washboard there. Oh man, it's great. Thank you, Paul, from Evo in Forest Grove. Evo Industries, very, very nice. Oh man, this bike is now a gravel road monster. Very nice. Oh yeah. A little uphill here. So blasting down a gravel road, going about 55, 60. And it feels very composed. Over washboard, more washboard, up the corner uphill. Golden tires are hooking up really well. Oh man, bike feels great. This is what I was looking for. The harshness is on. Very good. Yeah, the revalving has transformed this bike. I mean, I couldn't be happier. It was a pain, truthfully, to take off the, you know, some of these parts, and you know, especially the rear shock. Although to do it again, it would be pretty quick. You know, you have to take the suspension off, pull the bike out of service. So I'd do it during the winter when you're not riding the bike. Paul was, to his credit, was really fast. I just dropped the bike off, or the forks off, and he took shocks, and he took care of that. I believe he'll do it with the shocks on the bike too. But yeah, it has transformed this bike. I'm really happy. It feels like a bike that I can ride and be happy with for years to come. Yeah. Well, stay tuned. I'm going to do video of some of the mods. I did something back here that I like the looks of it. I didn't really change anything other than take off the reflectors. But anyway, let's ride some more. I guess, you know, just take a second here. I just took the you know, those reflectors kind of hung out here, and I just cut them with tin snips, and then took a file and rounded these edges, and it looks like it came that way. And then I did the same on the other side. Took some Harbor Freight tin snips, cut it, the back piece where the reflector came out, and then just took a file so there's no sharp edges on there. Last thing any of us need to do is wreck and have this become a cookie cutter. So make sure you file it. I filed all those edges smooth. I took probably more time filing on there than I did cutting, but it looks like it's just supposed to be that way. It doesn't look bad. And this is nice aluminum, so why not keep that? It looks good. And the X exhaust, it works. It doesn't get as hot. There's still some warmth there, but it's not like the other one where it was crazy hot. Yeah, all right, let's ride some more. Yeah, this, it's not harsh anymore. And then, you know, the fueling isn't as bad on this as I feel like people act like. I don't feel like it's that bad. I don't feel like it's bad at all. And so, you know, at slower speeds, when my idle was turned down, I kind of noticed it a little bit, but it doesn't seem to bother me as much anymore. So, I don't know if I'm getting used to it or what. Maybe the 2025s, they revised it enough to where it's not as much of an issue. But yeah, I'm not minding the throttle response, and I don't have a throttle tamer in here. I have the stock ECU. I do have the Get ECU traction control switch on here, but I don't have it activated right now. I'm kind of working on some fine tuning with that, but I'll give you an update when I have the ECU installed. But I'm running the stock ECU right now. In fact, if you know, the stock ECU on this 25 feels pretty good. When the bike was new, I feel like it was idled down a little low, and it did like to stall a little more. But it does seem to be doing better, at least in these conditions. But you know, the purpose of this video is on frame hangers and the suspension, and I guess we could, you know, throw the steering stabilizer in there. This bike is definitely something I could drive across country now and on the highway, off-road, and feel very, 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 very comfortable with it. Yeah, it feels great. Yeah, this is pretty choppy. Everything I'm riding today is just chop. I mean, nothing up here is really smooth. And so if you have a stiff suspension, it just gives you a stiff ride. You know, and in Honda's defense, it's hard to have a suspension that works good for every scenario. If there are some people where if they had it valved softer like this, they would, maybe for a motocross track, it'd be too soft. I don't know. So you gotta kind of set it up for what you need. And I still feel like the Honda 450 RL, the way it comes out of the box, is just a good blank slate for customizing. You can leave it the way it is and ride it and you'll do great. Or you can do like what I've done. I wanted a few steps closer towards the dirt bike, but not as much as like my 350. Or you could do like what John T. Young's done and make it take a few steps closer to an adventure bike, a light adventure bike, and that's great. I think that's worked really well. So I do feel like it's a bike that's pretty cool and that you can tweak it and take it either direction. You know, like right now, I could add some, you know, a fairing to this and throw some luggage on it, and it could be a light adventure bike. It would do it. Oh, it's just so plush now. This like rock and it's just, I don't feel any harsh vibration. Very pleasant to ride through here. It just soaks up the chatter, which is just what I was trying to do. Oh, this is great. Yep, soaking up the chatter. Feels really nice and plush. Feels good. Loving it. Feels good at higher speeds, feels good at low speeds. I'll do another video in the future about when I'm on trails. I just don't have a timeline that lets me go up and hit a bunch of trails today. Chop, washboard chop. 2 thumbs up for those frame hangers and some revalving. Feeling great. Gonna keep this bike a long time, I can tell. But for me, that rough riding, you know, firm, harsh edge. It wasn't like overly harsh, but for doing gravel roads, that harsh edge on the suspension and frame was gonna long term make it hard for me to want to keep this bike. But now, man, that did it. I'm in. I'm all in for years to come. This bike is staying in the fleet. It's got lots of power to satisfy that adrenaline rush that is fun to have, feeling that acceleration. But now it rides nice too, to where you actually like, you're not sacrificing ride quality to have the acceleration. You have a little of both. If that makes sense. Oh yeah, like that, right there. Woo! And with the exhaust, it's just quiet acceleration. Oh yeah. Feeling really good. Yeah, very nice. Let's try, got some high speed chop up here. Let's try some higher speed chop. Okay, here we go. This is a little section of gravel road. Oh wow, this is like butter. It's like butter. 65 miles per hour over chop, gravel roads, potholes, and it's smooth and composed. A few potholes, didn't even feel them. Yeah, it feels good. Real stable with the steering stabilizer, going 70 over gravel roads. I don't advise that. But I want to test it. Oh, there's some potholes, I don't even feel them. Very nice. Okay, well, that's a strong pass for high speed. Hadn't done any high speed stuff on gravel, so I thought we better hit it. So that's a good test. Go back the other way. Love rolling through these gears. Oh yeah, definitely feels composed. Doesn't feel sketchy at all. Doesn't feel sketchy or twisty. I'm sitting on the seat the whole time. There was 2 potholes and I didn't even know they were there. I mean, I saw them, but I didn't feel them. Yeah. Very nice. Very stable platform. Very nice platform. Honda did a great job. These things that we're doing, that I did, are very minor. And I don't think you'd need the engine hangers. I think you could just play around with the torque. If I were... there's been stages where I would have just probably played with the torque, but just thought I'd go all in and get the engine hangers. But yeah, the bike feels good, but the valving's huge. No more harshness. And then combined with the steering stabilizer at high speeds, it just feels rock solid on gravel. Yeah, feels amazing. I could ride this bike all day long now. I can tell I'm not going to get a headache either because I don't feel that harshness in the handlebars or through my seat or in my head. There's no more harshness at all. It just floats over the gravel. Yeah, very nice. And I think it's helping with control because I don't feel like the bike's coming unsettled from the harshness. It just kind of settles into its track and holds its track. Like that was a very big pothole, and the back end just seemingly floated right through it. And right there, another one, floated right through it. I just yanked the front end over it so I didn't have to plow into it. Yeah, that harshness out of the front end is gone and the back end, and just feels like it should. That's all I can say. And I felt like the revalving wasn't a big expense. Since I didn't swap out any springs or anything, that was worth every penny. Okay, a little downhill. This is kind of choppy up here in a second. It's a beautiful day. It's actually warm. Nice not to be in rain and fog and all the stuff I got to ride in around here, which I love riding so much. I'll do it, but man, you get a day like this, oh, I could just ride and keep riding. Oh yeah, washboard feels so good. Even at higher speeds, feels planted. In fact, the only con to these changes, it's so easy to go fast that you don't feel the speed as much anymore, and that could be, you know, can get you in an accident. Feeling good. And I do like this X exhaust. Really feels the same as stock. So I don't know. I wouldn't worry about changing that out. If you got the stock exhaust, just leave it. Unless you find a good deal on a full X header, because the X exhaust won't bolt on the stock header. It needs, because the X exhaust is a little bigger where it bolts on. The diameter tubing that they use, so you need the header or you need an adapter. I didn't want to mess with an adapter, so I just got an X header too. Hey, there's a KLR. Awesome. That's cool. We're out loving it. Could say, hey, what's up? But you didn't look like he was stopping. I'm really loving the Honda. If you're thinking about it, it's an excellent bike. You know, think about what you're going to use it for, and then you'll just have to customize it for your use, how you're going to use it. But I'm really pleased with it. I can tell it's going to be a bike that I'm going to keep for a long, long time. And with Honda reliability, you know that you can. And the harshness is definitely gone. It's nice to ride a 450 with motocross underpinnings and have it be comfortable. And just on a separate note, it's always nice to meet another rider up here. We chatted a little bit, and that was fun. Talked to the fellow with the KLR. He just got that bike and is enjoying it, and those are just solid bikes. He's going to get a lot of use out of that. It's a red-tailed hawk, or what we got going on up there? I think so. But anyway, it's just cool to be up here riding, and it's just a great day to get out. Beats being on the couch. I always figure if I'm riding, I'm not eating, so there's that. You got rid of me. I guess what I like about this bike is it's, for what it is, it's pretty lightweight, and it's still a spirited ride. I mean, it's pretty cool to have a bike that you can take off road and then have it and take it on road too, and it's still pretty spirited. It's not overly heavy, but you know, extra 40-50 pounds over like a pure dirt bike kind of helps you when you're on the highway. But you know, stuff like this, it's nice. I still feel like I'm on a dirt bike, just ripping it up. So I like that. And I've had bigger bikes, and those are fun. They fulfill a different need, and not opposed to that. But right now, I'm kind of liking just lightweight, maneuverable, good power to weight ratio. A very spirited ride, man. If you want to go, just give it some throttle and you can rip. Yeah, lots of fun. Love it. And the harshness is gone. I can officially report the harsh feeling is gone. And I give the biggest credit to the revalving. I love just blowing through those gears. Awesome. This is loose gravel, and it's just eating it up. Feels stable, and it's not harsh anymore. Hang the back end out. Corner, feeling good, very composed, very controlled. You know the bike's handling good when you keep having to remind yourself you're on gravel roads. That's when you know I feel like the bike's handling good. I'm on loose gravel, and I'm starting to corner like I'm on pavement. Yeah, the steering stabilizer is helping because I'll feel the back end kick out a little, but the front end is holding true and not squirreling around.